where women are honored, divinity blossoms there. अर्थात् जहाँ नारीको इज्जत हुन्छ त्यहाँ देवत्व फुल्छ। यो प्राचीन भनाइले हामीलाई सिकाउँछ कि महिलाहरूको सम्मान र समानता नै समृद्धि र सुखको मूल आधार हो। प्रत्येक नारीमा एउटा दिव्यता छ जसलाई जति सम्मान गरिन्छ त्यो त्यति नै फुल्छ र फैलिन्छ, त्यो त्यति नै फुल्छ र फैलिन्छ। We have on board today, and not to miss our so supportive gentlemen. I am your host for the event, Sri Sumogazu, President of Nepali Student Association at University of North Texas. And what a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen, to gather and celebrate the essence of empowerment and innovation. And wish everyone a happy International Women's Day 2024. Now imagine, if every time a woman had an idea, a bell rang. Well, today's venue would undoubtedly turn into the loudest concert you've ever attended, because we are not just any other gathering. We are the 5th Nepali Women Entrepreneurship and Leadership Summit, organized by Nepali Women's Global Network and Nepalese American Chamber of Commerce, Dallas, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme for this year, as you can see, shiny brights at the front, is Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move back. Remember the days back home. जब हाम्रो हजुरआमाहरूले पनि संकल्प र हिम्मतको कथाहरू सुनाउँथे।
Thank you, Sriju. Perfect. Welcome and namaste to the 5th Nepali Women Leadership and Entrepreneurship Summit. Nepali Women's Global Network, NWGN, and Nepali Chamber of Commerce, NACO, would like to commemorate the 114th International Women's Day with the theme Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. Before I dive into the event details, I would like to welcome the new leadership of both of the organizations. Please join hands together to welcome NACO's new president, Suraj Paurel, and his team. Now, let's welcome NWGN's newly appointed board members under my leadership. With a heavy heart, I would like to thank our outgoing board members and President Avima Ufredi for a pivotal role in lifting NWGN to the next level. My association with NWGN started in 2003 as a student seeking help to complete my master's thesis on domestic violence among Nepali women in the United States. My 20 years enduring relationship with an NWGN is a testament to what NWGN offers to its community. I'm a feminist, meaning I raise my voice when justice is not served or when someone is unfairly treated. My vision aligns with NWGN as it gives voice to women who need help, whether they need to be rescued from the abusive relationship or provide a meaningful representation to those whose skills and talent are overshadowed in the diaspora. We have an army of Nepali women who are empowered, successful, and trailblazers, and they need to be recognized. To turn theory into practice, the past president of NACO, Bal Joshi, and NWGN's past president, Avima Ufredi, created this safe space to collaborate, network, and learn from one another. In these 5 years, NWGN and NACO have brought almost 100 women who have shared their stories of success, perseverance, and determination on this platform. This year, we are here to mark the 114th International Women's Day with the theme, Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. NWGN has been firstly advocating for investing in and recognizing women since its establishment. We advocated no malams during the pandemic. As a result, more Nepali women are being recognized and given meaningful representation in the Diaspora Conference. There are still many unfinished tasks to be completed to bring gender parity, for which we will continue to create a budge. We strongly believe that investing in women will lead to accelerate progress in humankind. So let us unite and be the catalyst for change. Together, we can create a future where women's empowerment isn't just a goal, it's a reality. Today, while embracing this theme, we continue to provide a unique platform for Nepali diasporic women to amplify their voices, share experiences, and generate collective power. Our keynote speaker, Sadhana Gimire, California-based attorney and human rights advocate, will share how protecting women's human rights is a long-term investment to bring gender equality. Further, part of our event is our 3-year-old, who will narrate the captivating stories of dedication, perseverance, and determination. These heroes have already written their courageous story by rescuing victims of survivor of domestic violence, climbing the corporate ladder, and becoming medical entrepreneurs. We also have a panel discussion on leadership and entrepreneurship, where experienced leaders, entrepreneurs, financial professionals, and marketing experts will share their insights, strategies, and best practices. Further, we believe such panel discussions are meaningful when we have our ally as a speaker. And here we have Sanjay Raj Bhandari, along with our first group of successful women professionals. Welcome, Sanjay ji. Lastly, today's discussion will be incomplete without discussing the importance of self-care and practicing mindfulness. Our goal is to send a message to our audience, especially women, who in their roles as caregivers, who often forget loving yourself is not being selfish. It's an act of self-care and empowerment that will radiate positively and resilience. NWGN believes that advocating for women's rights and gender equality is about not diminishing the rights of man. Our male allies play a pivotal role in dismantling the hierarchical structure and power inequality. Merely discussing women's issues amongst women alone does not bring sustainable transformation. Progress is possible when men actively engage in the conversation about diversity, inclusion, and the belonging of Nepali women in the diaspora. This platform is not an example of our effort to bring extraordinary women and male allies. This platform is an example of effort to bring extraordinary women and male allies together. As this event is not only a women event, we bring our community together to celebrate and inspire our women. Let's harness the power of solidarity, sisterhood, and brotherhood to overcome adversity and build a just and equitable world for future generations. Finally, I would like to reverberate what Maya Angelou said. Each time a woman stands up for herself, without knowing it possibly, without claiming it, she stands for all women. We ask our audience to stand for humanity and invest in those deprived of their rights, and then only progress happens. Together, we can make an equitable society. Thank you all for listening, and happy International Women's Day 2024.
You all can see my face that I worked for an hour, so. Alright, does this look good? Do I look pretty? Yes. Thank you. Alright, a profound thank you to Dr. Soni Thapa for inspiring words and leadership. Dr. Thapa, your vision, Dr. Thapa, your vision and commitment to empowering women are truly commendable. Your guidance lights the way for not just today's summit, but for the countless endeavors aimed at uplifting women in our community. Thank you so much. Once again, let's give it up for Dr. Soni Thapa.
In our lives, our past, our I'm getting nervous. Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to see. Okay. So here's what I have to say for this event today. I'm sorry. I just need to go to the next slide. So here's what I have to bring up. I wanted to touch base from the perspective of what I come from, right? I come from Nepal, obviously. I spent 35 years in Nepal, being a woman, struggling as a lawyer, coming up from the society where everybody is like predominantly masculine, right? It's masculine, it's my dad, it's my brothers, the whole story is about my brother, my dad, my uncles, and everybody around me. And yes, my mom's there, my aunts are there, people who are there, they all contribute to my life, right? And then suddenly, like after a few years of education, getting into there, I realized, okay, well, treating my mom the way my dad treated, even though I never saw any domestic violence in my house, but I saw it all around me. And I feel like, okay, well, was it wrong? What was wrong with it? And I didn't even know it was wrong. Like, it was part of my life. People would touch girls here and there. And that's all like, I'm sorry, I'm starting from a sad perspective because I need to go back to those sad points just to make sure we set the tone. But yes, that's what we all saw and experienced. That's what at least I saw and experienced in my society. And then I was like, okay, that was wrong. But how do I know that was wrong is when I got into that level of education. And then coming from there, and then coming into this country where we are right now, and then making your own life, your own fortune. It's like completely a different perspective, because people feel like, okay, we're in America, we're free, we're equal, we have peace, we have stability, financial satisfaction, right? But is that true? Is that where we come from? Or versus where we are right now, is that really true? And then I would like to, there's no other way to mark this International Women's Day without kind of bringing these three ladies into the picture. The first one towards your left is a statue of peace. You will find it standing in front of the International Court of Justice. It represents a woman, right? And back in 2002, when I went there for my post-graduation in human rights, the only thing I took picture of, I really loved about is that woman standing there. And I was told that this woman was giving birth to justice. So this is a pregnant lady's statue, right, standing in front of the International Court of Justice. It was hilarious. Like, it was like really, really amazing for me, right? Our idols, our beliefs. Everybody wants peace. Everybody wants justice. Everybody wants liberty. But where do we get it? Right? How do we get it? We represent that as women. These idols or monuments really reflect on me. And then I hope you get that. And today's world is like totally different. We all have different levels of achievements. I didn't have enough space, so I just had one slide. But it goes on, right? We could just have like as many slides as we can. But this represents where we stand now, right? We all do represent a sector, a public sector, and then we all make our living together with men, right? However, the challenges that we have gone through and then the challenges that we face is enormous. It's different, it's new, it's totally something that our predecessors did not see, and these are the challenges that we face and we transfer or at least hand over to our new generation for them to get into newer challenges, right? Now, like, right? Okay, we all are working towards, like in this room today, I see full of men, youth, women all together sitting. I'm that people want to identify themselves by, but when I'm saying women, I'm like just kind of representing today's forum. So forgive me if somebody recognizes themselves as different. But then we all work, we all come from different parts of the world, different paths of life, and then we all try and...
Wasn't she? Sadhana Ji's journey reminds us that the fight for human rights, for gender equality, no, let me correct it, gender equity, actually gender justice, just like the crooked tree, is not just about legal battles, it's about changing narratives, about planting seeds of change in fertile minds. Her story is a testament to the power of unwavering determination and the strength that lies in kindness and uniqueness, our uniqueness of being women. Thank you so much for your words of inspiration. Sadhana Kirure, everyone. And our dear audience, we seamlessly transition from one inspirational saga to another. It's time for our beloved segment, the most favorite, my most favorite, not heroes, the sheroes, Success Stories series. This is where the heart of our summit beats the loudest, where stories of defiance, dreams, and determination come to life. Today, we don't just listen, we celebrate the spirit of every woman who dared to dream, who transformed obstacles into stepping stones. To guide us through these tales of extraordinary journeys, I am thrilled to introduce our facilitator, a software developer and board member of the Nepali Women's Global Network, who I have had a wonderful chance to work with, who will lead us into the world of the sheroes. Please put your hands together for Ms. Jessica Rizal.
Good morning, everyone. It is truly astounding to stand in front of such an amazing crowd, so inspiring and accomplished crowd. Last year, I had the privilege of attending this event, and I was profoundly motivated by the stories of some remarkable women. And this encouraged me to join the Nepali Women Global Network, seeking to be surrounded by some of the outstanding individuals once again. It is truly an honor to be among such an outstanding individuals and remarkable women and men. Each of us has our own unique story in life, and today we gather to embark on the journey of some remarkable women, our sheroes, who have shown exceptional leadership in their respective fields over the past 10-15 years. We recognize them not only for their professional achievements, but also for their personal journeys, as they have persevered as women of color in a new country, struggled and overcame hurdles to become an inspiration to us all, especially to young women like myself. These Shiros will narrate their success stories of breaking barriers, challenging stereotypes, and becoming who they are today in our community. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you our first Shiro, Miss Aruna Shrestha. Ms. Shrestha is a dedicated social worker and advocate of domestic violence survivors. I'm sure we all are aware about the severity and the impact of the issue of domestic violence and how it affects individuals of all backgrounds in many aspects, including physical, mental, emotional, and many more. Those survivors, they often seek help and support during such challenging times, and this is where leaders like Ms. Shrestha steps in to rehabilitate and navigate their lives. She has gone above and beyond to provide 24/7 direct service to many survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault, and also assisted those survivors and their families in navigating their lives, a legal system and court accompaniment. She also conducts multicultural training for law enforcement regarding the best practices for working with immigrant and refugee survivors of domestic violence. So I would like to welcome Ms. Shrestha and request her to shed some light on this very important issue and share her story with us. So ladies and gentlemen, let's join our hands together as I call on stage Ms. Aruna Shrestha.
Namaste and good morning, Texas. As you mentioned, my name is Aruna Shrestha. I came from Atlanta, Georgia. I was originally from Kathmandu, Nepal. And next slide. I'm a daughter, the mom, wife, community leader, sister, and the advocate. Being the smallest in the family, I get lots of opportunity and lots of support and the help from my brothers and the sisters. My parents supported my dream to pursue my study in the United States. That's how I came here to further my study. I graduated. First, I did my hospital management in 2008, and after that, I moved to the graduate college to pursue my master's in public health from the Mercer University. Currently, I'm a domestic violence program manager at the Tapestry. Tapestry is a non-profit organization based in Atlanta, Georgia, and we work with the immigrants and the refugees of domestic violence and the sexual assault to end the violence in the community, using a culturally appropriate methods. And we have 4 different departments: human trafficking, domestic violence, unaccompanied minor, and the family violence intervention program. And since I'm from the domestic violence, we provide direct services to the immigrant communities. Direct services means all the legal services, and we do the community outreach and what else? And we also do the immigrations in-house. Immigrations means some of our survivors, they might be qualified for the U visa, WAWA, and the G visa. We all do that in-house. And also, currently I'm a General Secretary of Nepalese Association of Georgia. That's another hat I'm wearing. Next slide, please. Okay, my journey became my journey to becoming the person I am today as a domestic violence advocate is not an easy part, being an immigrant. So it has been a part filled with lots of challenges. Each obstacle has served as an opportunity to grow and learning. As an immigrant myself, I have faced unique hurdles and still am facing some of them. But I make those as my passions to advocate to others facing similar struggles. My journey has provided me a platform to amplify the voices of those often overlooked in the society, like I'm here today. My journey has been filled with determination, compassion, and advocacy. It has made me who I am today and has reinforced my commitment to advocating for those less fortunate in the communities. My determination and ability to overcome diversity makes me a strong woman who I am today. Whether it's time to navigating the complexities of the immigration process, or overcoming cultural barriers, or advocating for marginalized communities. So I know like most of them here, you might be, came here as like an international student, so you know how we have to go through all the hurdles and the, hard time to maintain the status and everything. But I have always approached these challenges with the courage and the resilience. What fulfills me the most is the opportunity to positively impact others' life. I find fulfillment in being able to support and empower individuals who feel vulnerable. I value the connections and relationships I build along the way, whether it is that with my coworker, with the survivors, or with the community partnerships. We need to understand that helping women or supporting women is not about losing men's rights. I really like that all there, how the Zonizi, mentioned about it. Because whenever I approach the community, every time they say that I'm trying to take their place. We are here to building like our stronger, healthier communities, and we are fostering equality and harmonious relationships through cooperations. Because I'm like a dad of the black sheep in the community. Whenever I reach out to the community, they think I'm look the ladies here who like to do the divorce and file the restraining. So I'm not that type of person. Okay, so as like immigrants, myself, I also face so many barriers. Who transitions into the United States? My biggest obstacles was the language barrier. I met when I first came to the United States. Coming into a new country, learning a new language was very difficult when you were not exposed to the country back home. It took me a lot of work. I had to learn new social dynamics and become fluent in another language that I was foreign to. Fluency not only to tasks. I also needed a good grades to achieve my educational and professional goals. I also faced financial barriers. As an international student, money was tight and I have to work through different places to fulfill my tuition fees. But, I have a loving family who cares for and loves me unconditionally. I have a loving parents who support me financially, but still, there's a lot of other financial needs which I have to cover myself. And the working and I want to add some little bit on that one. Not only like a working two job, just for my graduate degree, every day I commit 6 hours to travel. Because I live in Atlanta, but my college was in Macon. So 3 hours every day is not a jogging. So that's how I graduated. And at that time, when I was new to the country, I didn't know how to drive a highway. I took bus, train, and the shuttle, and from airport to my college, I took another shuttle. So every day, for one trip, I spent like more than $65+. For me, as an international student, that's not a journey. But after 1 year, I started learning how to drive in highway, then that was deducted from my financial things. So my coworkers are also very supportive and encourage my professional development. My language barrier is something I had to overcome through pure determination and grit. I really dived into the American culture to become more fluent in English. I still value the power of language and seek comfort in my native tongue, obviously. Even though I have moved across the world to the United States, I'm still very proud of my heritage and seek comfort in speaking my native tongue, Nepali. So in that one, I really want to add, besides that, I also do advocacy of learning access. So most of my immigrant, domestic violence victims not having a language access, they end up going to the jail, and that civil case becoming like criminal case. So I fight for them. And I have so many clients, we are lucky, we are here to build up like a new language, but some of my clients who came on their late 30s, late 40s, they couldn't do that. So they know how to drive. My current struggle is they know how to drive, but they couldn't pass the driving test. So last month, I went and met the mayor of Atlanta, Georgia, and requested him, look, I have so many clients, they know how to drive, but they couldn't pass the learning test. I need Nepali language in the DMV. So I'm raising that voice. That will be my first thing. And the last month, I wrote a letter. Thank you. I wrote a letter to the congressman of Atlanta, Georgia, that for the immigrations, like, when it's come to the citizenships also, there's no Nepali language. So I raised that voice also, but my first priority is the DMV, because if my clients couldn't drive, because Atlanta without, the car is your leg, how they will survive? And I don't want them to go back to that user because of all those barriers. Okay, this is the one I really struggle with in my personal life. So at the beginning of my career, my personal and professional lives were very together. I was trying to be great what, I was doing. I want to give like 200% to my client. So I didn't have a time to be social. And I was fortunate to work with the immigrants throughout my career, so I didn't have a problem to make friends at my coworker. And making friends at work was no problem. So my personal and professional life really started to collide with one another. As I became more experienced, I began the value of life balance. My work is only not physical demanding, but it's mentally exhausting as well. When I say exhausted, it's really a lot. So that is why it's crucial to find a work-life balance to provide the best quality of work. My biggest dilemma was avoiding burnout, so that I could give the best for my clients. I still go above and beyond for the services, but I maintain my work-life balance. So, most of my clients, they work, I just want to add up something. Most of my clients, they work in the chicken factory and the warehouse. They call me midnight at 1 a.m. because, during their lunch break, they just remember something like some very important thing about the legal stuff. So they start calling me at 1 a.m., 2 p.m. So then after that, when I get home, I need to shut after, my turn off the phone. But still, some of the survivors, they got my, since it's like a community referral, sometimes they have my own personal phone number. And when I don't pick up my office phone, then they start calling my personal phone. So I learned to put my personal phone also in the airplane mode, like whenever I go to the sleep. So, I'm trying my best to create a boundary, but still I'm not there. But it's very important for us who are in this field. Otherwise, you burn out very quickly. Okay, and my life is a roller coaster. It's very challenging. I thought about giving up my dream so many times, 100 times, I'm not lying. But whenever I think to quit my dream, whenever I see my survivors, their eyes, I see their dedication. So I think myself, if they haven't given up their dream, if they haven't given up their goals, then I should not. They need me. So whenever I fell down, I just look on their face and the eyes. Otherwise, as I said, it's more than 100 times, because I really want to share one story. That was 2019, I was almost there. Even I was there to submit the resignation because I lost my 2 clients in 2019. Which is still, I couldn't even, talk when I think about it. And one from the communities. And one from our communities and one from the different immigrant communities. So another one literally took her last breath in my arm when I was transferring her from the hospital to the hospice. So that last breath, I still get those trauma in my night. I couldn't sleep. Sometimes those in a house, they grabbed my hand. She took her last breath. It's very hard. And another one from my own community, luckily, I'm not saying luckily because she passed when she moved. She has to move. She has to flee from Atlanta. So, and she died in another state. So, the God is there. If she died in Atlanta, Georgia, I don't know. I won't be here today. It will be 2 months. Because of not having a medical access, she ended up having like a drinking problem, and all the livers and everything was like, the bad. So I'm trying to take her out from those like drinking habit. And even I'm looking for like all the Nepali store where I can buy those churbis and everything, and I'm giving her, hey, but if you want to, like to drink the beer, just eat this. And I was buying all those like a protein shake to build her like, the stamina. But I couldn't save her. So those 2 clients is always on my mind. I'm like, okay, what did I did wrong? So sometimes it's really bothered me. It's so heavy-hearted, which why I couldn't save those 2 clients. But because of them also, and I couldn't quit the job. Those are my courage. So whenever I try to quit the job, no, I do not want to lose my another sisters from my own community. That's what I'm here. Sorry, I got a little emotional. Okay. And my 3 words to the encouragements are self-praise, acknowledgement, and recognitions. One of the most important ways to encourage others is by sharing my journey and experience. I emphasize the importance of empathy and compassion in my line of work. I understand and validate the experience of survivors and highlight the determination required to address the challenges and the sensitive issues. I encourage our, I'm so glad to see all the younger generations. I really want to encourage this younger generation to look at my struggle, look at my, how I face all the barriers, my struggles. Please don't give up. Just like now I'm here today receiving, I'm so glad to getting this platform. So this is all because of the work I did to the communities. I think if I could do it, you all could do it. Just recognizing the importance of the empathy, determinations, and commitment, especially when the world is against you. And since I work in the domestic violence field, and I know must be some of the community leaders or the community members, this is the point I really want to talk. If someone comes to you and seek for the help, please seek them help. Just to listen to them. Never ever judge them. Never ever, how our culture, we try to impose our opinion to them. You did this, you did that, maybe this is why. Please don't do that. Just listen to them. Sometimes that's a lot for them. And provide the resources if you couldn't do it. Do not try to wear a hat. That's my humble request to everyone. If you couldn't do it, if you don't know how to do it, just redirect it. Just provide the resources, being like the community members. Those are the really last things I want to say. Other than I translated a lot of the brochure which were in the English, and I got some of them here. I'm always there to make empowering the Nepali language access to here and there. So whenever I go to the court, if I see some the brochure pamphlet, if I didn't see that in my language, I see all the language, then I contacted the certain person. I say, hey, where's the Nepali language? I even volunteers for that, and I translate it, I send it. Because without language access, it's not easy. We're not talking about the second generation. We have to focus for the first generations too. Because I have so many clients, they went to the jail. For example, every 3 months I go to the police academy on their graduations, and I teach them. Whenever you got the 911 dispute call, please never ever use the interpreter like the family member, and try to read their body language. That is more important. Because I saw most of the case is misguided. So, because the wife doesn't speak English most of the time, husband, at least 50-60% they are able to communicate in English. So they end up doing the interpretation things, and whenever there's the fight, we ladies sometimes have a long near, and during the arguments, and men is the one who got all the scratches, and bruises will be there after 2-3 days. Whatever you get a strangle, you try to show to the police, there's no bruises. I have 100 cases like that. And the police will take my client to the jail, and that's became a criminal case. Then I have to fight for them. Did you provide the interpreter? Did you see the, the body language? That's more important. Did you see how my client was fighting? And that she was shaking. you didn't even bother to, use the language line. It's so easy, everything is so free, this language line. So that's the reason I was able to dismiss like lots of criminal cases, because those are very important. If they have the criminal cases, it's also affect their immigrations, because most of the time we are being working under VAWA applications, and if you have criminal case, it's not working. So that's my another things. That's all. Thank you so much, Arunaji and Sophie, for giving me this platform to share my journey. Domestic violence is like that. I couldn't put that in the words. It's in my feelings and the heart. I cannot express. I have like lots of inside in my the heart. It's so heavy heart, but I couldn't put it in the words. It's just I feel it. So I was able to just share one portion of my journey. But still, thank you so much for giving me
Aruna Shrestha, and give her a round of applause for everything she's done. Thank you. It is truly inspiring that even during such challenging times, you did not give up and you gave your best for what you believed in and to serve the community. I just want to highlight on how she has not only advocated for the right, but also she promoted authenticity by, advocating and promoting language access for survivors by translating the flyers to Nepali. So thank you very much. Next, why we are honoring and recognizing her today. Dr. Hamal is the very first periodontist and one of the very few Nepali doctors and immigrant women who opened up her own business nearly 2 decades ago, at the time where there were not many Nepali women entrepreneurs in the medical sector. Not only has she excelled as an entrepreneur, along with becoming a leader in her profession and climbing up the ladder as a periodontist, she also shaped another generation of medical professors at the Ohio State University. So let's give a round of applause to welcome Dr. Rupa Hamal.
Well, thank you for inviting me to talk today, to talk about my life and my story. I've been here at the Nepali Entrepreneurship and Leadership Summit, and so a little bit about me. Can you hear me? Yes. I think I speak pretty loud. So once I did in India. So let's go from the bottom. I graduated from high school in Nepal, and then I went to the dental school in India, and I got my bachelor's of dental surgery. Then I came here, and then went to School of Alabama, did my master's in oral biology. From there, I went to Ohio State, and they have a dual degree program, like periodontics, specialty, and public alma mater. Like somebody asked me, like, why do you work so hard? I say, I got too many alma maters, so I have to pay. All right. So, a lot of times people don't know what a periodontist is. It's not a very common specialty. Within the dentistry, there's like 7 or 8. If you ever looked in your mouth and then looked closely at your teeth, a lot of people might have recessions and stuff like that, and they're concerned, and they go to a dentist, why my teeth are longer? And then they say, oh, you have periodontist. So they come to me, and then I do the gum grafting, and then there's the result. So what the common procedures of periodontist does. And then I also do the dental implants in case you have a fight with your spouse or whoever and knock the teeth out. Then I can replace it and make it look like it was before. You can sue your spouse and have them pay the bill. And to me, everything relates to the biking. So I don't know if my life story is a success, because success is a journey through uncharted waters. And the meaning of success, everybody has their own meaning of success, what success is in life. Some people think like if you make success, different people have different meanings of success. And so, and there is no step-by-step manual. You can't buy a book, even though there are a lot of people say, oh, how to be successful, you know? As a dental assistant, I tell you, when you're the boss and you reverse roles, it's no fun. So being a dental assistant from a dentist, so sometimes I realized how inept the person I was working for was. I had to sometimes help him with the extraction. Find a mentor who's going to be willing to take you for the research. And I said, I'm really interested in dental implants. Who should I go to? And he said, like, go to Dr. Jeffka, Marjorie Jeffka. She's in Imperial. So I'm like, okay. And I told my friend, I don't know, I'm meeting with this lady, and so wish me luck.
And so, first of all, thank you so much for, recognizing this venue for all of us women, right? Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce, and thank you to the Nepalese Global Association. My name is Richal Upadhyaya, and I'm going to walk around, starting from here. I have been in this country for almost 30 years. I came to this country as a teenager. I had a full scholarship in a college that nobody had ever heard of, in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, believe it or not. And so from there I moved over to Minnesota, went to St. Cloud State for a little bit, and then moved to Minneapolis. And so since then I've been working. I was the first Nepali woman to work at US Bank. I was the first Nepali woman to be recruited to Wells Fargo from US Bank. And so I've been with Wells Fargo since 2000. My passion is human rights. My passion is to ensure that we can level the playing field for everybody, no matter who you were born as, no matter where you were born, right? Everybody should have that level playing field. Why should my child have better opportunity than a child in Afghanistan? And that's how I try to lead my life, and everything that I do today would align to that vision of mine. This is my family. I'm very fortunate to be, to have my parents with me, and I know the Nepalese community have actually, we're so judgmental, right? And we'll get to that in a little bit here. But don't get me wrong. I'm going to address all of that. But I feel so proud to be in a position that my parents trust me, right, and to come live with me, despite all of the negative things that are being told, because the Nepalese parents chose a girl's house, daughter's house to live in, right? Again, don't get me started, it's a sore spot. Married to my wonderful husband 10 years this year. I met him in grad school. This is my second marriage. We have a feisty, strong-willed child. She's 7 years old. She acts like she's 17. She keeps us on our toes. And then my two fur babies, Oreo, the Lord Nibbler. The black one is 9 years old. And Bella, the beast, she turns 3 in a couple weeks. That's my life. Now, doesn't that sound like I live a wonderful life with no struggles? Right? I got it made, right? Think again. So I always think for us, the struggles are twofold as a Nepali woman, right? First and foremost, is just being a woman in a Nepalese community, right? It's just, we have so much pressure. And granted, a lot of it at this point in time is self-made, right? I gave myself a lot of pressure that I have to work harder than the next guy because I wanted to be a success and because I'm a minority, right? And so right off the bat, I would tell myself, I don't deserve what everybody else does unless I work 3 times harder. Bad. Don't do that. So some of the struggles, right, that I'll tell you. Societal pressure. Why are you wearing that? Why did you cut your hair? Oh my God. Did you really say that to that uncle to mind his own business? Oh yeah, I did, right? And you know what? I have been known as the black sheep of Nepali community, but I don't care. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I'm true to myself, right? So let's talk about pressure to conform. How many in here are parents? Okay, majority of you, right? How many of you have told your kids, please don't wear that? We're going to a Nepali party, right? Please don't wear that. Or let's see, nowadays, right, there's this whole gender diaspora. Like, people are trying to find out who they are. I might be she, her, somebody else might be they, them, right? We have kids who have the platform now to try to find out who they really are. They might not identify as the generic man or a woman. How many of you know of a family that has an autistic child, but that family will never admit it? Nobody? Right? Why? Think about that. Those are all the pressures we're putting on ourselves. We have to take a step back and think, why? Right? Of course, we all know about where we come from. You know, father knows best, uncle knows best, right? I mean, my niece is here, right? I argue with her dad, my brother, right? And he's like, but I'm your dada. You should listen to me. Dada, I love you to death, but you are damn wrong on this side here, right? So those are all the things that, with confidence, with age, 10 years. I knew that marriage should have lasted for 6 months, but I tried and I tried and I tried. 10 years, you guys. Those 10 years I will never get back. And why? Because back in the day, what will people think? Right? Don't do that to anybody else, please. Right? I lost opportunities. We want to make sure that going forward, as we walk out of this door, we get to a point where we're like, you know what? From now on, I would stand up and I would say what I feel. Right? No talking behind people's back. Oh, did I just tell him to do something? You know? Or if I say, I'm so sorry, I won't be able to take that on. I feel like, am I being selfish? Those are the things that come into play. Our perception, right, at least the one I gave when I wasn't this confident back 30 years ago, was a perception that I was meek, submissive, right, in the workplace. Everybody would say something and I'm like, hey sir, okay man, you know what I mean? Think about what perception you're giving of yourself at work. Because that's going to lay a foundation of how they treat you. Lack of assertiveness. One of my managers sent me to a training of positive assertiveness because being a Nepali, I could not assert myself and tell people who reported to me, don't do it. So I had to go through training on how to, be positively assertive, right? So these are the things, like, the other thing is too nice to be a manager. Honestly, 6 years ago somebody told me that. Richa, you're too nice to be a manager. Okay. like, okay, so if I'm really strict and I tell people what I expect, I'm being a bully, right? Versus my male counterpart is being a great leader. We are creating this environment that we're allowing that to happen. Working for free, scope creep, right? Somebody says, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you do the audit for this one? Oh, can you do me a favor? Can you check the language on this one? The release is next weekend, and I don't have anybody else to do it. Sure, I'll do you a favor. Guess what? Those favors add up. People will start expecting you to do things for free. Again, I'm learning these as I go, so I'm not here to give you the art thing. And then the rest you can read, right? Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so my awakening. My boy here, Raksha, talks about her awakening. This is my awakening in the corporate world. Speak up, people. You hear so many in the meetings, men just go bam, bam, bam. They'll just throw out their ideas unfiltered, right? But then women, we are so inside our head that we're like, should I say that? Okay. And so by the time, right? By the time we filter all that, that time was past. Right? So who loses? We do. There's a saying in Nepali, and I'm awful in Nepali, I'm told, but I'm going to try to remember. That's it. Pito, no, Jambo Bigleno, Bolneko, Pito, something like that, right? They bring it home, right? It's just like, what are you losing by not speaking up? Right? What's the worst someone can say if you ask for a promotion? Right? And then you can have a conversation to that note saying, why? What can I do better to get there? Right? Speak up against injustice. I have taken my child since she was 2 years old to protests. She was featured in San Diego Tribune since she was 2 years old, holding a sign saying, I am too, but I can be a better president. Yeah. Speak up. Listen to your inner voice. That's one of the things that we silence. That nagging voice that says, I'm saying yes to this person, but I just feel like I shouldn't. I'm saying yes because he is such and such as my dad's friend, right? Come on, I'm going to go over to them. And so listen to heed to your inner voice, right? Like, I'll give you an example, and I'm sorry, Sam, I'm bringing a personal example from last night, right? So, we flew in together.
Hi everyone. I was saying, hi everyone. I thought after the Shiro's panel it would be so exciting and so energetic. Hi everyone. It's not going to book like it's but then it's okay. One more time. Hi everyone. Alright, wow. What an incredible journey we've just been a part of. With such amazing line of inspiring speakers like Ms. Aruna Shrestha, Dr. Rupa Hamal, and Richa Upadhyay. The stories of our Shiros have not only touched our hearts, but also have ignited a fire within us to chase our dreams with relentless courage and unwavering spirit. Let's carry this energy, the high everyone energy forward as we transition into our next segment. And remember, each one of us have potential to be a Shiro in our own story. And we're running a bit late, but we are Shiros and we're definitely going to catch up to the schedule. So here's to everyone, and thank you to all our speakers for sharing their inspiring tales, and to our amazing facilitator, Jessica Rizal, for guiding us through the journey. Sorry, like I said, I knew this was going to come. We delve into a critical conversation about accelerating and advancement of women in leadership and entrepreneurship. The second session promises to unpack layers of insights, experiences, and strategies to propel women to the forefront of leadership and business. I think I need some warm water. So sorry, everyone. Alright, I'm back. Now I'm good. I'm thrilled to introduce our moderator for this session, Dr. Barsha Moktan Raimaji, the Vice President of Nepali Women Global Network. Dr. Moktan Raimaji brings with her a wealth of knowledge and an infectious passion for gender equality and women's advancement. Under her guidance, our esteemed panelists, Pragya Acharya, Sanjay Raj Bhandari, Aishwarya Karki and Moon Paudal Malla will explore the dynamics of women's leadership and entrepreneurship in today's world. Let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Barsha Moktan Raimaji and our panelists as we gear up for an enlightening discussion that's sure to inspire action and foster change. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an interactive session. So if you have any question in your mind, you're free to ask. We're going to have a question round as well. So please note down your question, and the floor is all yours, beautiful ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Round of applause for Shriju. She's doing a phenomenal job, and it's coming from a retired master of ceremony. I used to be a master of ceremony all the time. I think we have our Vedai here. Back when I was in NRN, I used to always be the master of ceremony, and it is not a good, it is not an easy job, especially when things are constantly changing, and it is especially hard when you have a cough, right? So you're doing an amazing job. Like I was already told I was short, so this mic is definitely reminding me that. So I would like to welcome all of you to our panel discussion focusing on accelerating the advancement of women in leadership and entrepreneurship. As we come together to commemorate International Women's Day. Our first session was definitely filled with inspiration. There were times when my eyes were teary. There were times when I almost fell off the chair. So it was a great combination of tears and laughter for sure. But I'm thrilled to announce that our second session will not disappoint you. We have a lot more to come with the wonderful group of panelists that we have here. As we find ourselves at the threshold of a new era, it's crucial to acknowledge the pivotal role women play in shaping our societies, economies, and futures. Today, we will explore the power of financial education in empowering women, discuss the significance of mentorship and allyship, celebrate the remarkable resilience of women who seamlessly juggle between being a leader in their profession, a mom, a wife, a sister, and a daughter at home. Furthermore, we will shed light on the unique challenges women face, women in particular, in their entrepreneurial journey, and explore effective ways to navigate these hurdles. Importantly, we will recognize the indispensable role that men in our society play in fostering a truly inclusive society. It is an absolute honor to have a distinguished panel of leaders and change makers joining us today. So without further delay, I want to introduce our panelists. We have Ms. Pragya Acharya. She comes with a background in sociology and a career spanning from JP Morgan Chase to Morgan Stanley. Pragya is not just a financial expert, but also a trailblazer breaking barriers as the first Nepali financial advisor at both institutions. Her passion is in empowering others through financial literacy. Thank you, Ms. Pragya. Then we have Mr. Sanjay K. Rajbhandari. Mr. Rajbhandari is an entrepreneur and seasoned IT professional. He has championed numerous ventures in Dallas, Texas, serving as the founding president of mortgage brokerage, real estate brokerage, and IT companies, just to name a few. And I just wanted to give a fun fact about him. He's an avid motorcycle adventurer. Ms. Aishwarya Basnit is a senior global brand manager with over 13 years of experience in brand marketing. She brings a wealth of experience not just in traditional brand marketing, but also in the dynamic landscape of digital and e-commerce. She is also a new mom to a 1-year-old boy. Oh, I didn't realize. Okay. So we have Miss Moon Paudel Malla. She's an entrepreneur and a registered nurse. She has been the owner and head of Kitty Academy of Murphy since 2019. Along with her husband, she also started Expert Rate Lending, a mortgage broker shop with a mission to provide education to first-time home buyers. She is a mother of 2 young girls. Thank you so much to all the panelists for being here today. As good as our first segment of this event was, this is my first time attending this event, and I'm telling you, this is probably one of the best events. So I want to start by asking you, Ms. Pragya, when you began your career many years ago, you were in the financial industry. Did you ever think you would be a leader in the financial industry, especially because financial industry is, heavily male-dominated? So as a woman, how did you carve out a space for yourself, especially as a woman of color?
Hello. Namaste Samvidana. My name is Pragya Acharya, and thank you for having me here today. 15 years ago, if anybody ever said, Pragya, you're going to be a financial advisor and you're going to be managing $500 million in assets for a lot of people, and you're going to have a team of your own at Morgan Stanley, I would just look at them like, Pagalo, are you joking? I hate math. I didn't study finance. I love people. I love to be working with people, culture, community. That's what motivated me. And I came here to actually do my PhD in sociology in 2002, and life had different plans. Nothing went according to what I dreamt up. So I ended up coming here and then became a stay-at-home mom for 7 years. Instead of doing a PhD in sociology, I ended up doing pot engineering and how to cook and clean. Which wasn't bad. It was a tough challenge, especially when you don't have a community, because sitting in Dallas, Frisco, Nepali. So it was a challenge, and all my friends that I had were all stay-home moms who would, basically would get together for tea, perhaps samosa, chat. None of us talked about a career, and forget finances. We just didn't talk about what mattered to us as educated women. All we talked about is coupons and discount and how to get the best deal for diapers. And so, in the process, what I realized is I came here for an education, and my parents are highly educated. They were educated here in the US, and they sent me here with expectations. They didn't want to just come here and be a stay-home mom. And then finally, I realized I need to do something, and I had a few friends who called me up and said, get here, we're going to build your resume and put it out there and help you get a job. And then somebody said, why don't you apply at a bank? I said, why would they hire me? I have a sociology background. I've never studied finance. I hate math. My husband does my banking for me. I don't even know my login, and I don't even know where my money is, to be honest. Like any other, homemaker who doesn't ask those questions. I was happy letting my husband handle all the finances. And then it turns out that I ended up getting hired at Chase as an entry-level banker. They say fake it till you make it, so I had to open bank accounts, and people looked at me, and I was like looking at them like, I pray they don't know, I don't know anything what I'm doing here. And I ended up learning the process, opening accounts, getting to know clients, and what I realized that differentiated me from the rest of my peers was I was from Nepal. I believed in a community. And I believed in empowering an individual, educating, because for me, that was important. I didn't know how to drive. I didn't know so many things. I didn't know how to use a debit card or credit card, and somebody took my information, sold it, and I was a victim of fraud. And those were the things that taught me that these people sitting across me really don't know what they're doing too. And my job is to be the best in what I'm doing, be the expert in the field. And that's what motivated me to learn more and more, and I ended up being one of the first private client financial advisors for JP Morgan from Nepal, a female financial advisor. I'm sure there may be male advisors, but as a female, I was the first one there. Built my practice, and then I went to Morgan Stanley 3 years ago with a team, and now I manage $500 million in assets for very, very wealthy individuals. And what do I know? I'm from Nepal, I'm from a third world country. How do I know about estate planning and trust and your rights in this country? But the most important feature was asking questions, not being afraid. I'm not afraid to go up to anybody and say, मलाई यो सिकाइदिनुहोस् त, मलाई आएन। किन आएन? खै थाहा छैन, युट्युब राम्रै हेरेँ, देखिन मलाई बुझाइदिनुहोस्, right? The biggest hesitation as an immigrant, and especially with English not being our first language, we're always thinking twice. We're so hard on ourselves. We always tell ourselves, no, what will that person think if I ask a stupid question? No question is stupid, especially women. Like I heard before from the previous panelists, we're always in our head. We're always so hard on ourselves. We're always telling ourselves, what will they think? None of that. Who cares what they think? You're empowering yourself, and because you are going out there and asking those questions and asking for help, what are you reflecting? You're showing your daughters, your nieces, your friends that it's okay to make a fool of yourself because everybody else wants to do the same thing, but they just don't have the courage to do it. And that's where I think I differentiated myself and with my male counterparts, where it's predominantly Caucasian men, right? Nobody looks like me or sounds like me. I walk in and they're like, where are you from? Naples? No, I'm from Nepal. Have you heard about it? Oh, so what do? Do you know anything about finances? Yeah, I know about real estate, gold, and then now I know about stocks and bonds, right? And what I learned in the whole journey is ask those questions. You know you can do hard things. And go out there and be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. And be the expert in your field. Don't let somebody make a fool of yourself. Educate yourself. And that's how you grow in this industry.
Thank you so much. I really think that, especially in our Nepali community, finance is something that we've always kind of put it in our back burners, and especially always given the responsibility to our husbands or dads. We always think when it comes to money managing, it has to be men. So we really have to break that. Hopefully, this discussion will enlighten that in all of us. So moving forward, I have a question for Mr. Sanjay. So you were one of the young pioneers when you came to Dallas, Texas, over 30 years ago. And you had a long journey as an IT professional, and then you ventured out into all these different entrepreneurs. Did you ever imagine that you would be the entrepreneur that you are today? And what helped shape you become, dip into so many different things and still become successful?
Well, subjective is a subjective. Successful is a subjective. So,
yes.
First of all, for everyone, happy International Women's Day. All the women, all the men here, and my sisters, everybody here, and whoever listening or watching over the Facebook.
Yes, it is on Facebook Live.
Right.
So earlier we checked what you said. It's not. It is recorded. Everything is recorded.
So although this is as I said, success is a very subjective. I don't find myself successful. I'm still working. I'm still struggling. And also, thank you for putting a very polite way of saying you are old.
You're experienced.
So, this forum I'm sitting today is not about me. It's about the women, because we are celebrating Women's Day. I'm not celebrating me, not celebrating anyone. We're celebrating women, especially Nepalese women. And they are here. They are in the place where they can be whatever they want to be. Okay. So, just give you a little background of it myself. That way I can relate myself to the other people here. And I want to tell everyone that I'm not the only one who struggled or who did this, something like that. I've seen a lot of friends from the old days. Maybe that's more than 20 years ago we met them, and we all struggled. Men, women, sisters, we call ourselves friends. So we all struggle, so this is nothing new. So it's not about telling what I did to be here. I'm going to tell you how I came here and why. What made me come to the States and sharing the state with this prestigious stage with these beautiful sisters who are successful and I believe in their own way powerful. So I'm very honored to be here. So back days, it's still the same, I think it's still relevant that our culture in Nepal, especially, it tells about son is always take a superiority over daughters. I was fortunate enough to be an only son. My father was only son, my grandfather was only son, so we have only single line bloodline, right? So only single bloodline. So we were surrounded by all beautiful and powerful women around me. My grandmother, my mother, my aunts, my fufus, and my sister, and then here my daughter and all the sisters around me here. So surrounded by. So there, I learned a few things, and I was kind of sad for a few things as well, because when I found that, when I was not born and raised very nicely in a middle class family, and I got whatever I wanted. It's just there, just 1 week is there. And when I see other women up there, and they didn't get whatever they want because they have to compete with their brothers, whether it's elder, we go, it doesn't matter, they have to fight for it. And usually you don't get it. You don't get it at all because you're not waiting. Someday you will go to somebody's house, right? So basically that was happening there. And I think it's still happening there, but changing a little bit. So for me, being a single, someone's only son, and I was wanting to come to America. And I was trying it, and when I say home, so we're going to go to America. Don't go. You're only son, you have to be here. And what are you going to do with that far? And same thing that other relatives told them that they didn't, because yeah, I understand their love, but if I was not given freedom to whatever I choose to do, then I would be here. But eventually they learned to accept that, and I'm glad here. And in the process, I received a lot of encouragement, a lot of support from my women of my house. Okay. With that, I would like to say my daughter, I believe I raised her right. And now where she is, I never imagined I would be there in my life. And she put herself to that place. Because I wanted to have her to be someplace very prestigious, very powerful, and she do a lot of good things. So we always encourage her to do whatever she wants. When she was in school, she was kind of talented, I would say, because being a girl, all girls are talented compared to me. I'm a guy, but still, I would say women are more talented and more powerful. Not because they're the woman, because they have a very good sense of management. They either manage money, or they manage time. They do all kinds of stuff. If you manage time and money, you can do whatever. Okay? So they are like a natural. Okay? So they can do it just like that. So in my house, I came here, as I said, I just wanted to be here, and then I did behind their back. They didn't know what was happening. And I had because back then, support system, and all my friends can tell that there is no network, there is no internet. We have to parents book, choose the college, send the mail, and wait for a month to receive a response back saying you are accepted or your whatever application, the program they have. So it took time to get that, but yes, eventually I managed because my friends helped and all that, managed to get library and got myself into the embassy, applied for the visa and got the visa. And I told them, okay, I got the visa, I'm going to USA. And then there was a drama there. So eventually I arrived here with a very limited knowledge enough. And I started my journey. So now you ask, here, what did you do to be here? Back then when I was a teenager in Awa at the time, grew up and stuff. So I had in mind I want to be some industrialist. So I'd like to become industrial to produce some product and supply the world or people, right? So I will do that. And there's always in my back of my head was sitting there that I wanted to do it. So here, when I came here, from accounting background to I switched to management into information system. That was a big difference. So management was my forte. I wasn't sure I could manage anything because I was given everything. So there are a lot of things I couldn't do, but management, I didn't think I could do it. But once you start to get into it and start, when you become independent, you give them a chance to be independent in your own thing. And then I started to gather that pace and then become, I think I would like to say myself as a good manager. I can do some management. But when it came to US and started work, some management job and all that. But my best half defeated me. Guess what? Because we are living in a little bit above poverty line, our income was. So with that income, we survived all five people, family at that time. So with that limited resource, we survived. We were doing okay, not good, it's okay. We are surviving. We are right above the poverty line. And all of a sudden, there was a sorry.
Like you said, you do have a long journey.
I thought we were secretly here, but that's okay. That's simple. I can do it.
Oh, really?
5 minutes? No. So, when my opportunity came, and I know there's a saving, I know how much I'm bringing in, what's my family's expenses. I thought there was nobody left. But the opportunity came in, and guess what? And I told my better half, she brought me the stack of money. Yeah. Why did you get that? So, when I gave him a paycheck, she cashed it and took out a few $100. Put them somewhere. I don't know, maybe under the sofa or somewhere. I never found it. When I needed it, she brought it up. So that's all management. Management of resource which you have no control over in getting yourself to place. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, yes. So at least we now know that, there's a woman behind your success. So that's what it takes, right? So I think maybe we can get pretty carried away when we start talking about our life story. So maybe we'll have a time person to come, just in case. Because I'm just sitting here enjoying the conversation and I don't even realize we do have a time that we need to get this done with. So moving forward to Ms. Moon, you've had a very diverse career background. You were a registered nurse and now you're an entrepreneur in a completely different field. So what made you choose this path of entrepreneurship and what made you come with an idea of investing in a franchise?
Okay, hello. First of all, namaste sabhi right? And then good afternoon, I think it's already 12. I just experienced something that I've never experienced with my watch. So I think I'm nervous. I got a heart rate alert. And I'm like, what's that? I think this is the first time I have a mic in my hand where I'm talking about my entrepreneurial journey, which means I'm still learning. And I haven't achieved where I had to be. So first of all, Varsha, thank you for the introduction. And yes, as Varsha stated, I do have a very diverse career background. I support at home to, probably kids with their grandparents. So I had my mom, but I didn't want to burden her with 2 little girls and then be at work the whole day. So I was looking for a child care center. That's how it started. So I was like, what is it as a mom that is important to me when I go to work? I want to make sure I have health and safety-wise, I have a safe place for my kids. They're getting the right nutrition because they're very young. And as we all know, the majority of the brain development happens during the first 5 years of our life, when babies are little. So they have to be stimulated. There has to be a good curriculum. It's not the kids are left in the daycare whole day, the nanny is keeping them in one place and then they grow and they thrive. That's not how they thrive.
There's so many aspects within marketing that you can get into. But the brand marketing for me is really kind of like a bit of a strategic asset that I absolutely love. It's about building a business. It's about building an identity that your consumers and audience can connect to. Again, it really goes back to that storytelling that I was so deeply passionate about. So that has been my bread per se. Now, did I envision myself where I am in my career? I'm very blessed the path that has carved. So when I got out of my bachelor's and with my pre-medical degree, had no clue and was daring enough to, or courageous enough to say, Mommy and Daddy, I don't want to do this. In that moment of what felt like darkness, the dot starts connecting. Sometimes intention is all you need, and the dot starts appearing. Now, I went on to pursue my MBA, and without even really realizing where I was headed, I had a sense of, I like creativity, I like connection, I like something. And so my science background did lead me to a pharmaceutical company, which then I started recognizing, oh, what is this brand? What is this marketing? And luckily at that time frame, my education MBA sort of connected the pieces for me, and one thing led to another. I've been fortunate enough to work in various categories, various industries, and work on brands that I've honestly looked up to and been so passionate about. Still carving out the journey, but really just taking in as much as I can when I can, learning what I can, utilizing my education. But at the end of the day, the passion for people and building a story is, I think, what has led me here.
Thank you. That's really wonderful. You know what's really we have such a unique panel here. You know, everybody in completely different fields: marketing, finance, IT, with entrepreneurship in daycare, so many different things. But the one common factor here is everybody kind of followed their passion. You know, kind of listened to their heart. You know, they all came from completely different backgrounds, sociology into finance. You know, you were like pre-med, went into marketing, and Sanjana, you went from IT managing to a completely different field, and same thing, from nursing to entrepreneurship. So you at any point in your life, you can do what you want, follow your dreams. So this is a live example of that. So moving forward, I'm going to come back to you, Ms. Pragya. You know, we all know this year's theme is invest in women, accelerate progress. So we really want to, talk to you a lot. So in that theme, since you are the financial expert, why do you think financial literacy is so important in empowering women?
So my mom always says, educating a man means educating just one person. Educating a woman means educating your entire family and your community, because we love to gossip and we love to disseminate information by talking while we're making our chia and our momos, right? And I live by that philosophy. What is very important, what I learned in the process is, like, I'm an educated woman, and I used to let my husband do my banking, and I used to let him decide, make all the financial decisions. How am I empowering myself, right? Because I'm ready to learn all these difficult concepts in sociology, and as doctors and engineers, we're ready to learn all these difficult jargons and terms. But one thing we shy away from is understanding our money. And what is very important for women empowerment in all of this is knowing where your money is. Because guess what's happening? Statistically, women outlive men. So here we are, both husband and wife, working hard 9 to 5, accumulating all this wealth. But when I talk to all my friends, do you know how to do your banking account? Do you know how to log into your bank account? Do you know where your 401k is? How it's invested? We are giving control of the biggest asset that we are building towards for our retirement to somebody else. Why? That's what needs to change. For women, empowerment is financial literacy. That situations where, because we think we're not financially independent, the day you realize you can make these own decisions and you can think for yourself and you know where your money's at and you are in control, that's the day you free yourself. So disseminating information at the grassroots level is what's important. And we as women, educated women, going out there in the community and breaking down the myth of finance and making it simpler and more, easy to understand. Like we talked about like we share recipes, we can sit down and talk about banking, कसरी गर्ने, investment कसरी गर्ने, stock भने के हो, bond भने के हो, घर किन्दा कसरी किन्ने. All of these things can be translated in simple, understandable terms. And it has to start at the grassroots level. It has to be accessible to everybody. And that's what I think, that's what will empower women. And all of us in this room.
True. That's really true. We really have to change our informal conversation talking about shows and what's happening at Ambani's weddings to finance and stock market now, right? So coming back to you, Sanjay, Mr. Sanjay. Again, as an experienced entrepreneur, I'm going to have to refer you as Sanjay Lai. Now that we know you, right? We have so many aspiring entrepreneurs here in the room and watching us. What is like a step-by-step guide? I'm sure it's going to be long, but if you had to give it in a summary, what is a step-by-step, how would you tell them, how would you start a business? And do you really need a lot of hard cash to do that?
Great question. Okay, very great question. It's hard to
answer.
Because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not certified,
Yes, just like a business, if you were to open a business.
From my own perspective, what is needed to become entrepreneur? I would say, first of all, is a plan. Okay? Without the planning is a matter of fact. Okay? So basically, you are doing it without planning, you would fail. Eventually, because you might correct yourself, on the road, but how much correction you can do? There is a certain limitation on that. So planning is one important. So what are you going to achieve? What is your goal? What is your target? You're going to get it in certain time. Okay, so now you add the time to it. So time management will be a very important factor of this plan. The reason is, think about it, because I just read an article a few days ago. It says that white women are not elevated to the place. They did the research. I'm not going to go to the numbers and all that, but it says most of the women couldn't get to the place where they want to be because child care. Child care was the biggest issue because they don't know where to keep those kids. Thanks to you, you are doing a solution. So the child care was the one of the things. So they need to take care. So come down to time, managing time. So now we're going to manage again. So time-wise, yes, there will be a family, there will be a husband, wife, and there are in-laws and all that. So we all need to work together. Now, some things like, stereotypes like that, this has to be done by women, this has to be done by men. Okay, males are the breadwinners, and they wanted to do certain macho things. It's not true anymore, it's not going to happen. And can we break it? I think you see the trend, it's breaking now. I see my friends here, they were pretty much into those basic tasks where they take the kids to school, with the extracurricular activities and all that. So those time management has to be worked together inside the house so that you can achieve your dream. Thanks.
Yes, it definitely has to start in your house, and we, won't be able to do it without supporting male counterparts like you. So thank you for that. Moving to Ms. Moon, investing in women is something we're really trying to achieve with equality and empowerment. As a franchise business owner, what advice do you have for entrepreneurs to get the financial support that they need? I know, franchise is something that we don't really know a lot about, and if we wanted to do it, like how do you get into it financially?
That's a very good question and a very difficult one. Sanjay ji, it's hard to explain that in 3 minutes. So I will just give a little background. For any business as an entrepreneur, it's a decision you don't make overnight. No financial institute, no bank will give you 100% financing for sure. So you have to plan it out. Maybe you have to do other work if you have an education in some particular area, or hourly job able. So you have to start saving so that you can tap into your saving for that initial seed or down payment, some amount of equity in the business that you need to have. And another avenue, another way is reach out to your family and friends who trust in your decision. Look for investors. There are some investors, maybe in our Nepali community, you don't know them, but they are waiting for young minds to bring ideas and they're ready to invest. So you can reach out to that avenue. And the other, I think, some of us know and some of us don't, now that we are also part of a mortgage, we are a mortgage brokerage company as well. So if you have a primary home, for example, and the home prices have gone up everywhere, so you might have built some equity in your house. So you can do a cash out refinance. If you absolutely trust in what you're doing and you need that seed money, you can do a cash out refinance, pull that money out, and then invest in your company. Or, as a matter of fact, 401k plan. If you worked and do have a 401k plan, you can roll over that money into your business account. It's called Robs, and if you need more information on that, you can reach out to us. So that's a different way you can initially create that seed money. You need that. Now, talking about, I have 1 minute. So talking about when you go to get that loan, there are different programs. You can get a commercial loan, or you can go to SBA Bank, and SBA Bank has some special programs for women-owned business. So if you have equity of more than 51% in the company, it's called a women-owned business, and women are still a minority in America as well. So there are some programs that they have with lower down payment and some kind of funding that they have that you can utilize to open your business. So be informed. Again, the financial education is very important. Look at news, look at different avenues where you can get this information. Reach out to expertise who knows, financial advisors. They will be the best one that can advise you more on this one.
Thank you so much. It was a short amount of time, but so many wonderful tips for sure. And I'm sure all of us did gain a lot of knowledge from that. Thank you so much. Aishwarya, you're in brand marketing. As an expert, how important is brand marketing for any business entrepreneurs, old or new?
So brand marketing is extremely crucial for the success and the longevity of your business. You can have a business, but you can have a plan, and you have to execute, right? So brand marketing allows you to establish identity. The way it's done in any brand, all the brands that you see, really, it starts out with creating a persona of the brand. So you have to treat a brand like an entity, like a person, what personality, what tone, what look, what feel. So once you have that foundation, only then everything that you do kind of stays consistent, how you appear, how you talk to your audience, etc. So it's extremely crucial. So my advice would be, first and foremost, before you do anything, establish your audience. And what I mean by that is not everyone is going to be for you. Understand your niche pool of audience and start understanding what preference, what values, what is important to them. And target that. Target your brand to resonate that, so that way you're speaking to them. And after that, number 2 would probably be to maximize on the digital or social media platforms. Probably the cost efficient and can also be very high cost, costly, depending on the investment level. But an opportunity lies for anybody who's just starting out. And it's important to stay consistent. Again, taking your brand personality, consistently engage with your audience, consistently build that trust and credibility, and that will turn your new customers mostly into loyalists, and that's what you want. The other thing in marketing is data, and insight. So I say invest wisely, especially now, again, I cannot give a 100% record, but generally what we see, especially for starting out businesses, is about 5 to 15% of your gross revenue into marketing. If you can do more, let me tell you, working on $1 billion brands, and you still never will have enough budget, but generally that's the starting point, and it's an important sort of a breakthrough to decide how much marketing you want to do. So with that, when you invest wisely in everything that you do, whether it be your ad, whether it be your digital efforts, ensure that you're looking at that data, pivot quickly when you need to understand, is your messaging resonating with them? What is working? What value add are you giving them? What promotion, right? So you can constantly tweak and keep moving along. So you have to pivot as quickly. So data, insight, and learn and move. So those would be some of my key advice for some of the entrepreneurs here.
Thank you. Wonderful advice. It's really important that, it's not that you invest in marketing in the beginning. You have to keep on kind of going with the flow and understanding your audience, like you said.
Yeah, and if I may add, I know marketing is a long-term investment. Sometimes it can be really frustrating to say, this is not working, I'm out. You do not need to invest in that. The marketing is one of those very slow burning, but it will churn if you do it right. So it's one of those highly profitable investments, I would say.
Definitely, thank you. So moving forward, I want to ask you, Ms. Pragya, even in the 21st century, we're still talking about, equal pay for equal work. For women, we're still fighting for equal pay. So how should we, as a woman, negotiate our salary?
First of all, you need to know what value you bring, right? Faith in yourself, knowing your net worth. How many of us here, person doesn't have an accent when they speak English, or that person has learned those 4 languages, or they can multiply off their head? They're smarter than I am. The important thing is knowing your net worth, knowing your value. What do you bring to the table? What are your assets as an individual? What are you gifted at? I know I love people. And I remember my dad used to always look for me. He would send me to pick up a loaf of bread, and I'd be gone for 3 hours. Gone. Where's Pragya? Uni kasko bharma tarkari ल्याउँदैछ, कसको घरमा गफ मारेर बसिरहेछ, को बुढी मान्छेको को के भयो त्यो काम गर्न गयो. Pragya's never home. And he would tell me, छोरी यसरी कसरी हुन्छ? Your exams are coming up, you need to study. And I always used to look at it and say, Dad, I'm going to find a job where I'm going to talk to people amongst the community and earn a living. And that's what I do today. And when people used to look at me and say, are you sure you can be a financial advisor and manage assets like this? What I realized about myself is I'm ready to listen. I'm hearing what my people are telling me, and I'm implementing that. And that's what's important in this industry is, end of the day, know your network, and then go out there and say, look, this is my gift. What is yours? What makes you feel you're better than I am? I can outdo you. And have that confidence. And fake it till you make it. You're going to learn in the end, right? So, end of the day, put in the work effort, and you will be able to negotiate your pay. But don't be afraid to ask. What are you going to hear? The worst is no, not this year, maybe next year. Go back and say it again. What's the shame? The worst is no, then find another place who's going to pay you more. But that's what you need to do. That's how you're going to earn your right to be at the seat. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Yes, fake it till you make it. Definitely you have to ask for it. You're not going to get it.
It's a very good question, and I like this question because I think I'm representing men now. Men out there, you can count on me. So basically the family, okay, the family runs through the two wheels. One will be women, another will is the men. So now, who comes first? Who is the more important? Anybody can tell. Bicycle. You take one wheel, what are you going to do? Your bicycle will not go anywhere. So with these two wheels, the one is made with the woman. Does it matter who sits on the front? Which wheel has a steering? Does it matter? Anyone can take that front or left, right? So as long as the family has. So with that, so which means that the front wheel with the steering handle is the driving the whole house, the family. So men has to give that opportunity to women whenever we get a chance, whenever appropriate. I'm not saying that give everything to women. I'm not saying that. Okay, so it's appropriate. So now, running your family, it's like I said, management, time management, right? So most time we spend on our kids because what we were doing just for our kids. We're not doing for ourselves because we're getting old, and we're gone, and we leave the legacy to the kids, which are our bloodline. So with that, you can men participate on those daily activities? Why not? And I see the trend, not only in USA, because we are here in a different environment, more educated. We do stuff together, and we give you empower. Okay, now empower is not the word I would use because I just looked at the Google and it said empower means giving someone authority. It is something I have to get. It's not, authority is not mine, so why am I giving? So that's the big word. I mean, there's a big deal of that. So what I'm saying is, what men has to get to the get and encourage their spouse to do better. Because most of the time, men are still working with money, but women tend to do better and make more money. So take their responsibility or share the responsibility of that. And with that, both succeed. So what both successful means more income, more money. Right?
I like the way you think. Yes, definitely share. It has to be spotless in the childcare center, so that was very challenging. Now, being a mom myself, I did face or being a woman, the challenge that I had to face in the work front was when you had to deal with those third-party vendors, you had to order a few things. As a woman, they don't take you seriously. When you give them deadlines, when you tell them something, yeah, we'll get it done. But they don't follow the timeline, so you have to be very assertive. And one thing I learned is you have to be very, very, very data-driven. You have to know. You have to make them aware that you know what you need. And you have to be very assertive. So that was at the work front. Karma, I did mention that I have two little girls, and they are here with me today because I did want them to see me here. Arya and Mara. So I'm investing in teaching them that you have to stand up for yourself and you have to, work and be equal to in the society. So balancing that household, I come from a traditional Nepali family. I do have that nurture inside in me. I love taking care of my home. I love taking care of my kids. I do everything at home that I would do if I wanted an entrepreneur. And my husband helps. And I like to be the boss of my house. I don't want him to take the lead. I want to take the lead. Mommy, you decide first. Mommy, you decide. Mommy, you decide. I like it. So I started this business, childcare business, taking my kids in mind. So I enjoy that. But I think what advice I would like to give is sometimes I'm the partner, I'm the husband, how? They make you custody help gardening. So don't shy away from asking for help. They are supportive. But wherever you need them, tell them, hey, I want you to do this. They will help. Sometimes they don't know. Back then, maybe while they were being raised, they were not taught to do household work or how to take initiative in the household work. So there were challenges there. I think by teaching my husband where I need help, and then I protected a time that I completely am 100% mom at that time. I don't think about work. So next morning when I wake up, go to work, I don't have that mother skills. So I have learned to do this. So this is how I approach my business and my work-life balance at the moment.
Thank you so much. This is such an important topic, and I'm happy to share my personal perspective. And because so many of us have been so honest, I think I want to be a little bit more honest in the hope that we can all relate. So as a new mom, in all honesty, my son is 1 year old. So I'm in that transition phase of trying to grasp onto my old self and becoming a new me. So this is that period where there's that tug of war. And I know as this season of life changes, it'll be different as my baby grows older. One thing I'm starting to recognize is I have to give myself grace, and it's okay to slow down. Despite the type A personality in me is like, no, I have to achieve everything. But so is when life just kind of blocks you, right? And it's like you just have to slow down. And I have to notice there are so many opportunities I have to say no to. Before I used to be a girl of yes, and now I'm recognizing what boundaries are and what saying no is, and that's okay. Because I want to be present for my child, but also not lose my self-identity and who I am. First and foremost, I have to fill my cup, and only then my son will get the best of me. So I'm a firm believer of that. Luckily, for me, and I think it's wonderful to have a supporting home and supporting partner, and I think that's where men can be a great ally. But not everyone is fortunate enough, right? So I'm a single mom, and my village is my family. And without my family, I would not be able to go on the work trips, I wouldn't be able to go on certain things, the whole house shifts. But I'm so grateful that without the village and the help that your community, your family, your husbands provide, we cannot do what we can do. And this can be, again, this is that period where a lot of women, I think, lose themselves. Well, I'm determined to not lose myself, and thankfully, because for my village, I just want to highlight for all the ones who do support, that support is so important. Now, you asked, do I have mentors? Not necessarily, but I will say, this is such an important topic that I do want to speak up if I go over, sorry. There is nothing, I didn't realize the power of women until I became a mother. Truly. There is nothing like the bonding of motherhood. You can have friends that you might have met like once in your lifetime. You have a question about motherhood and you reach out to them, you're friends forever. So, truly, even I appreciate so many women when I had questions during my postpartum, questions about doctor, questions about a product. I am so thankful people who are on the same journey as me. So my peers, my friends who have had birth around the same time, or a little bit ahead of me, or way ahead of me, who can look back and give us that retrospect. And that advice has helped. And I will continue to build on that, and hopefully I can only carve that path for the ones that are coming, because that has been my support system. So when a new mom or anybody reaches out, I'm not about gatekeeping, and I'm always trying to share no matter how vulnerable or how out of context it could be used. Especially in our society, right? Like, we're not as honest, but I've, again, tried to speak my way and always, even if it sounds short, like, that's my truth and that's my honesty, and I want to share to new mothers and everything. So, from a work-life balance to just life balance, for God's sake, right? I always say, if someone reaches out to just be open to them and share your experience. Like, don't, because that has truly helped me. And then for me, last but not least, what anchors me is I recommend, whether it be new moms or moms on the way, find your anchor. My anchor, or whatever, or if you want to call it self-care, there are a few foundation things that are non-negotiable for me. So that can look like a workout, meditation, reading, seeing my people here and there once in a while. As long as I have that, I think I can find the courage to find grace in this season of life, which I know is only evolving. So maybe 5 years from now, I'll have a different perspective, but this is just where I am.
Thank you so much for sharing.
The one strategy I would recommend is everybody go home, log into your retirement plan at work, and call HR and figure out what matches your company offers you and what are your options. And sit down with your husband and pull up an Excel sheet and put all your expenses, debits and credits, and understand what you really spend every day to have your household running. That conversation in itself will change your livelihood.
Thank you. I think I definitely will have to go home and do that. I missed the flight because of all the weather challenges that we were having as well, and I completely missed the event. So I'm just, this is kind of surreal for me. Sanjay.
As I said earlier, I call myself Awara, right?
Yes.
Okay, which means that time management was my biggest problem. So never had a sense of managing my time and spending time where I'm not supposed to be. Going out with a friend, here and there, right? So I didn't have time management back then. If I had that advice, or if I took seriously what time management is, I would have been in a different place. I would be maybe somewhere in a larger state. This is large states, but there's some larger states as well. So I'll be there. So I'll be there. So back then, yes, since about education system and all that, we don't have that kind of knowledge, education or school system there where they teach what is management. We all about know management, is become a manager of some ABC company. So time management, we should have had that before.
Thank you. Yes, time is of an essence. So,
aspiring entrepreneurs, the advice that I would like to give is someone who hasn't started this journey, this advice will be for them. So know what your strengths are. recognize your strengths, and look for opportunities that align with your strength. Something that you're passionate about, something that you already are, you know that you can do it. And have that seed money ready. Definitely you need money, right? Some amount of equity, so if you need to invest. And what else? So let me see. Yes, you got that seed money, and then find a mentor. Definitely find a mentor, somebody who's already done what you're trying to do. Learn from them. They've made mistakes. They've met with different hurdles or roadblocks. Learn from them. This is an amazing platform to network today here amongst the audience and speakers. We have some really accomplished individuals who can help you. So network. If you have somebody in your community, take them out for coffee or invite them over. It's always good to learn from somebody who's already done that. So, and one last thing I do want to say, it's out of my personal experience when I opened my preschool, is you hear that saying, as a business owner, you wear multiple hats. Don't get confused. Wear multiple hats. Know your business inside out. But if you want to scale, don't do everything yourself. Find the right team, put them in place, make them do your work. I did that mistake where I was like, oh, I got it. I can take care of this, I can take care of that, and I was burning out. And in the process, I was not looking for the right professionals to do certain things that they would do and that would free me up so I could scale. So as if you're looking to scale, wear multiple hats, know your business, but find the right people to do your work so that you can focus on the bigger picture, and then you can have the overall view and you can scale, basically. Thank you. Yes, we all have.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, my thing would be honest with yourself. And then be you. For the individuals who are just getting out of college and trying to get into the corporate world, or even for entrepreneurs who look up to other entrepreneurs who are much more way ahead in the path, be you. There really is nobody going to be like you. Take advice, talk to as many people as you can, do network, but always remember that your journey is so unique, and even if it doesn't make sense how those dots are going to connect, do not let anybody tell you otherwise. In fact, I do not like the question of where do you see yourself in 5 years? Then you have to give a definite answer. To me, I think that locks you inside a box. Leave it to the possibilities. You keep growing, you keep doing, you will not center yourself in that box, right? So don't define yourself, just keep on growing. And throughout your journey, even as entrepreneurs or when you're in the corporate world, what do you mean you want to go into a different career? What does that look like? Tell me. You do not need to define sitting here. What is it that you want to do? Even if you do not know what the job title is or business is, if you believe in it, do not let anyone tell you otherwise. So my thing is, be you, take up that damn space. You know, especially for us, female, take up that space. Thank you so much.
It is my honor to introduce our speaker for this transformative session, Raksha Adhikari. A beacon in the realm of mindfulness and healing, Raksha Ji will guide us through the significance of nurturing our inner selves as a cornerstone of empowerment and success. Let's welcome Ms. Raksha Adhikari.
It's so amazing. All of you amazing, wonderful women and supportive men, we love you. You are equally part of this. First of all, what an amazing event. Thanks to Nepalese Chamber of Commerce, Shraddha, and WGN leaders to put this together, to get this event started and bring it here. It takes a lot. It's a lot of effort, right? A little bit about me. I've been in Dallas for more than a couple of decades, more than 2 decades. Don't guess my age. I'm getting old. I have to start by telling you my story. I had a spiritual awakening about 7 years ago when I thought I was perfect, going on with life, I had everything going. No, boom, suddenly I had a spiritual awakening, and since then, the paradigm shift that I have gone through has been tremendous. And that's what I love to speak about. I have done some interviews and things like that. In the midst of that, what happened is I also got connected to, in the process, as I will explain later, as I move forward with my PowerPoint presentation, I connected with my higher ability to tap into things that is outside of human mind and body, right? So many of you guys here, I know the faces. I've had an opportunity to sit with you personally and do the sessions and everything. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of that. So once I've had the paradigm shift, it's hard not to tell the story, right? It's hard not to be that true self that you are. And every single person right here today, all these amazing women, all of you guys, everything that you've said, we've talked about judiciary system, we've talked about social workers, financial advisors, all of these things all come to one point is what are we trying to do, right? We are consciousness. I'm going to sum it all up and bring it to the consciousness and mindfulness. The slide changed already, okay. How many of you guys here think of life and your presence as an energy every single day? And how many of you guys, I know you were going to say that because I listened to you talk. Amazing. Anyone else? Okay, I see a few hands up here. Amazing. We are energy. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, only be conducted. And in the energy sense, every single thing that all of you guys spoke about, I'm going to try to decode it in energy version. So I often talk about energy, frequency, and vibration, right? Healing. How many of you guys here think about you need healing? Personal healing. Okay, I need more hands up. Come on, okay. So realization remaining. Okay, right, good. Right? We all know this. Anyone can Google it. I'm sure you've seen this. Our thoughts and emotions affect the heart's magnetic field, which energetically affects those in our environment, whether or not we are conscious of it. A lot of times I hear, I'm not spiritual. Honey, you are. You just are not recognizing that you are. As long as you are living and talking and walking, your body is in this spirit. You are spiritual. You may not be looking at it like that, right? So that's our energy field, and because of the awakening process and my experiences, I've been speaking and connecting with a lot of people. I do know that a lot of us are going through an awakening. All of us are consciousness. We are constantly expanding, and we're shifting and changing every single day. What's missing could be the awareness and the mindfulness, right? All of these things that Risha Didi talks about. By the way, Risha Didi is my cousin, and our families know each other. Oh, Lord, bless our family. Two black sheep in the family, not easy, right? But yeah, awareness, mindfulness. Another thing is acceptance. How aware are we about ourselves? We talk about all these external factors, boundaries, whatnot, being ourselves. How aware are we about who we are internally? What does, externally we've already seen in so many things, what does our internal environment look like? Do we take time to sit down and just think about it, meditate on it? I feel this way because, all the triggers, everyday life. I feel this way because it's coming from here. How many of us allow ourselves time and space to feel our own selves? That's very much lacking, especially in women, because I'm one, right? A lot of external validation required. A lot of times sessions I do, I see lack of kindness, lack of acceptance, and often we find ourselves just fighting with our ego. Everybody knows what ego is, right? Yes. We can all Google it. Yes. Ego is the bad stuff. We don't want ego. Ego needs to get out, at least in the chat. Can we ever get rid of ego? No. Never, right? But do we need to keep it on check? Yes. Ego ruins us because ego limits us. Ego takes us to the limitedness. But guess what? We are energy, constantly changing, exchanging our energies. We are limitless beings. humans are multi-dimensional beings. I had no idea until I woke up about 7 years ago. I had no idea. And since then, I have experienced the paradigm shift. I'm seeing things, I'm experiencing things, I'm able to understand your emotions. Not only was I aware of who I am outside of the ego, I have now the ability to feel someone else's energy field too. And then, the more I research, the more I meditate, I realize that we tap into someone else's energy regardless of want or not. If you're sitting by me, I'm knowingly and unknowingly receiving from you and giving to you. So what's going to happen if you sit by a very sad person for like 2 hours? Ew. Let's do some energy healing right there, right? Let's clean yourself up. Depression, anxiety, everything that we feel that is in our energy field is transferable. You want it or not, doesn't matter. You are affected by it. This is just an energy explanation of how people are. Sometimes, there are some people that you just, right off the bat, nobody has done anything you don't like. There are people in our lives we don't like. Oh my God, I feel so irritated somebody walks in. Ew, I don't like that person, I don't know why. I know why, because the frequency doesn't match. Doesn't mean they're not right or you're not wrong or right. It's not about right and wrong. It's just that we're two different individuals and our frequency doesn't match. And that happens. So being able to understand and have this energy perspective in your life will give you an opportunity to not only connect with your higher self, but also understand the environment outside of you. The balance, again, somebody said, right, earlier, it's about balancing act. It's about balancing act here too. Centered you are, the more centered you are, the more aware you are, the more connected you are to who your higher self is, the better you're able to conduct yourself. And let me get into this. This is just the beginning. A lot of you guys are going through this. I see a lot of, because I am in this field, I touch many lives every single day. And I see the pattern that so many of you guys, no matter what the age is, I think the youngest one is 17 that I have, that I'm consulting right now, to a 50-something-year-old, men and women both, we're just souls, all souls. There's no gender differences with the work that I do because we're all energies and we're all consciousness. A lot of us are going through this consciousness expansion. And that's why we're going through I see so many depressions and anxiety, void, a lot of those things is happening is because Earth is shifting, Earth is changing, we're constantly shifting to the higher consciousness, and the Great Awakening is 2020. As of 2020, the Great Awakening started, right? Sorry if none of these things make sense, I am open to questions. But I will be using a lot of these terms like, where did you get this 2020 Great Awakening? Well, I know and I'll be able to explain if you have any questions. Oh, no, bestie. You and I are... This is my best friend and he's going to give me 5 more minutes. So this you see is the consciousness level. It's the chart, consciousness chart. How many of you guys are aware of that? Fear and anger and pride, courage. Can I get some of the names? What are the emotions that you think you are in the energy field? What are the emotions in your energy field? Lower emotions. Can you name it? Honestly, doubt. There you go. We gotta let go of that. Of course, anger, right? Anger, sadness. Let me tell you, everything that we feel after the age of 3 sticks to us if we do not take an opportunity, intentionally sit with it and deal with it and release it. All of these traumas are sitting in our energy field. And we walk and talk. What happens 5 years down the line, 10 years down, 20, 30 years down the line, if there is anger and fear and shame and guilt that somebody was talking about, mother's guilt, we heard somebody, if you are not regulating it, processing it intentionally, it is going to become depression. It becomes anxiety. And let me tell you, a step further, there are scientific researches done and proven that these become physically manifest and become diseases. What is disease? A dis-ease, right? Connected to the energy. So next time you're feeling something in your body's aching, you have heart palpitations, anxiety and depression, check where your energy is. The crazier the world gets for you outside, the deeper you need to go in. And what helps us do that? What do we need to practice? The first thing we want to practice is gratitude. Just be grateful for life, right? Coming from a person who didn't want to live anymore, me. Dealt with depression and anxiety. I've been there, done that. I would not be here standing, speaking about it if I had not done it, processed it. Gratitude. Breath work, another amazing thing to do. Just sitting down a couple of times a day, in the morning or whenever you feel anxious, take time to just close your eyes and breathe. Deep breathing helps tremendously. Meditation, obviously, I don't have to speak a lot about it. We are doing a couple of more videos that you guys will be able to find me on YouTube. I will do detailed videos about how and what it does. Because I talk a lot about chakras, because everything is connected to our chakra systems, right? Energy centers. Yoga, stretch, rest. Oh my goodness. I cannot tell you how important is rest, especially for women. Rest is important. Sometimes, you have a long day of work. How many of you guys feel the pressure, outside pressure, to just get home on Friday night? I kind of had that yesterday. Friday night and so has planned something. You want to get ready. Your freaking body is saying rest. No, you've had a long day. You've had a very difficult week. Just be in the pajama and rest. If you feel pushed to just dress up and be ready and just be like, okay, I'm gonna go get a drink. Your mind and ego and outside world is asking you to do that, whereas your inner self is pulling you down to just be with yourself, rest. We don't listen to it. Anytime we are being driven with ego and external, all of this validations and external pressure, and we don't listen to ourselves, that's when the internal fight begins. And the internal traumas start, right? So, I'm glad she doesn't have a time card. Detox, declutter, obviously. Yoga is one of my favorites. Stretching. Even though you don't have 30 minutes, just get up and stretch yourself, move your body. Because literally everything that we absorb throughout the day and that has not been released is in our energy field. So just doing spine twist, and somatic movement, which is a very slow movement. All of these things are imperative for you every single day. Healing is a journey, and every single one of us is healing from something or other. We just have to stay mindful about it and stick with ourselves. One thing I want to do, I'm going to say 1 minute. How many of us here deal with negative self-talk? Every now and then, oh my God, yes, right? Being mindful of exactly when you are talking negatively to yourself. That's a big start. Catch yourself. Be kind to yourself, loving, compassionate. You are enough. So many of you individuals have talked about boundaries. I don't need to be repeating it. We are such an amazing, smart, intelligent people in this room, right? We just have to bring that in and be mindful. Give yourself an opportunity to love and be kind to yourself before you go out and do that. Because if you're not kind to yourself, if you're hard on yourself, there's no way you're going to project that outside, right? What's inside is being projected outside. So take care of yourself, be mindful. All of these mindful practices help you. And healing is not just like, okay, you come to me, I heal you, tomorrow you're good. No, that's not. It's a journey and it's a hard work. It requires discipline and, more importantly, more loving, more kindness, more generosity, compassion towards yourself. Stop asking. As women, we tend to be like, emotional baggages, I have it. Oh, you have it too? Let me carry it for you. Coming from our culture, right? We're taking shit on from our family, from our spouses, even for kids. Not everything is yours to take. It's not your responsibility. That's when the boundary comes in. setting up that boundary and sticking to it. Listening to your intuition. We have intelligence, but there has to be discernment when your heart is speaking to you, and if you're not listening, you're going to feel the pain in your body. All of these things are absolutely in our energy field. Everything else? One more question. Can I get an example that you guys know of self-love? What is self-love to you? Do I have a volunteer? Taking a nap. Amazing self-love. Anybody else?
Getting me time.
Amazing. Oh my God, you guys are so smart. What am I doing here? I don't know. I need a bad answer. Shraddha, what's a form of self-love?
I would say taking good care of yourself.
That means, could be, she said, taking good care of yourself. A lot of people think self-care is,
Solid morning routine.
solid morning routine. Taking time for yourself without any guilt. Everybody has kids, everybody has problems. You have to make time for yourself. Take the energy back. Don't give without any guilt. Set the boundaries, stick to them. Taking time to feel yourself, listen to yourself, and heal yourself. Every single one of us have so much clutter. If I sit with you in one session, I can tell all the knots that I see in the energy centers. Research, educate yourself, keep an open mind, and more importantly, I'm not listening to that zero, more importantly, keep an open heart. There are so many exercises that you can do to enhance your chakras, right? Chakra energy healing is amazing. What else? Energy takers and givers, obviously, those are the things if you Google something. So please, me standing here, I don't have time enough to explain everything, but please be open-minded and open-hearted to go research these things and take your power back. Just know you're enough and take care of yourself. Take time to heal. Obviously, thank you so much for listening to me. I hope this has been an amazing time. So, anybody wants to try what I just preached? Yeah? Can we get the lights down? We have the music ready? We want to do the 2 to 3 minutes guided meditation. Anyone? Everybody? Okay, let's do that. Yes. Oh my God, I love it. I love the enthusiasm. All right, I'm going to sit down. Lights, lower the lights. Everybody close your eyes. Close your eyes and just let it go. Let it go. Let's be present at the moment. Focus on your breath. Take a deep breath in and out. Another one. And out. One more time, a deep one. And out. Stay where you are. You are not your mind. You are not your body. You definitely are not the thoughts that are coming to your head. As you stay here, bring the focus into your energy field, straight to your heart. Another deep breath. And out. No outside noise. You are currently at this space, at the present moment, just feeling yourself. As you breathe and exhale, you are giving yourself time and permission to be you. Take another deep breath and exhale. As thoughts come to your mind, observe them your time to be you. We are not our mind. We are not our emotions. We are consciousness. In this moment, pure joy, pure existence. Take a deep breath in and out. And the next breath is going to be for all the stress and trauma that you have allowed in your system. There is no room for any external stress at this moment. You are grounded, you are here, and you are connected to the divine. Take a deep breath in and release it all. Bring your awareness to your heart center and just be. Feel it. Feel the sensations in your body. You are here to just be. You are enough. You have to just allow yourself to feel and heal and rise to the place of joy and pure happiness. Take a deep breath in and out. And slowly open your eyes. How did that feel? Literally, that is all.
We're still here.
Welcome back. That felt good?
Yeah.
See, we have to bring the peace to ourselves. We already are so peaceful, amazing, joyful, and magical beings. We just don't allow ourselves to feel our own selves. Baira, 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 right? It's time to come within. Just allow yourself to be. Good? With that, I hope you guys take some time to do that every day.
I thought after the session, I'd come here with this full of energy, bang and everything. But after the short meditation that we just did, it's still taking me time because I'm feeling so calm, just feeling myself. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment to absorb the profound insights and peaceful energy that has just been shared with us. In today's fast-paced world, taking a moment to pause, breathe, and connect with our inner selves is more important than ever. You reminded us of the strength that lies in mindfulness and healing and how it can empower us as individuals and as a community. An incredible session, I must say, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Raksha Adhikari. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we round of applause as we invite their representatives to share a few words. Can we have on stage Mr. Navneet Koirala and Ms. Margot Velvet?
I am very thankful. Last year I was here at this networking and I got this platform. Jenny, thank you so much, and Soni, thank you for giving this opportunity. I felt like I was from outside, or from Florida, but I was here to network. But the love and support that I've been getting in this Dallas market is incredible, because what I was trying to expand is my expertise on tax planning. I know, like, we always prepare taxes, but we never plan. I'm sure, like, everybody has to file taxes. There are a lot of businessmen and businesswomen out here. Can you tell, like, have you planned your taxes? Have you planned your taxes yet? Sort of, yeah. But yeah, I will always tell my clients, be organized and plan your taxes, and there will be a lot of room woman to grow, like you can go to Pragya, you know, there are SEP IRAs, there are 401k, contractors, they can get a lot of deductions on, a lot of deductions on taxes that can help you grow your money in your business, inside your business. So, you know, thank you for me to have you here. I would like to share some of the stories and why it's very important for me to be here and be a sponsor, because I'm here today because of the woman, like my mom and my very supportive wife. Been 18 years, like, you know, we've been together. We've been married for 13 years, but we've been together for 18 years. And then I know it's very difficult for us to, you know, raise a special needs kid and then being a doctor. And then I'm always away from home. So I'm very, very supportive for her because where I am, because of my wife. And then I'm a very supportive nanny and then mother in the United States. I have served in government, in DC government. I worked in a big 4 firm, served in all Fortune 500 companies. Banks, Bank of America, I have audited Bank of America, New Jersey Nest, Carnival Cruise Lines. I always go there to audit and do their tax provisions. They always plan, like they always plan in September, and then they save billions of dollars. And then we had a baby, and then I decided, okay, I'm going to be a stay-home dad. And then I started doing the day trading, I started trading, and I stayed home with 9-month-old son. And then being there for 5 years at home, I was planning. And then I was actually helping in my own community, starting my own non-for-profit with all the saved tax dollars, because this country has designed a beautiful tax code. If we can use, we will thrive. We will thrive beyond anywhere that what you can imagine, because everything in all the communities that we see outside of Nepalese community, their income is their expense, and everything, the money stays within the community. Because it's all because of the tax codes. If you properly plan, my income should be somebody else's expense within my company. And then whatever I sponsor here, it's my expense. But people think like, you know, oh, I have to give this much money. I should give more to our community. There are a lot of businessmen. We should give more to our women entrepreneurship, because that's how we grow, because you can write that off. It's, whether you're going to give to Uncle Sam or you're going to give it to your own community, you got to think. You know, if you keep on giving it to your own community, your business grows, your community grows, and there are so many things that we can do from this tax code. And I'm very glad that I got this platform to get into the Dallas market, and being very supportive from all of the clients. Thank you. And where I am today is all because of, and I've been from the Florida market to this Dallas market. I'm growing, but it's a teamwork. I know I can't file all 500,000 Nepalese taxes, because when I did the math, and it was like, literally we are draining $5 billion a year. Because $10,000, 500,000, you multiply, $5 billion we gave it to Uncle Sam, and we are not supporting our own community. We have to support our community. There's so many things that we can do. That we have a not-for-profit. I have a private foundation doing global charity. I have a school in Pakistan. I have a computer lab in Zambia. I support animals. I support you. If one person can do that, then we have 500,000 Nepalese that what we can do, we can actually control the 50% of our Nepalese economy. So I would love to pass to my leader, who is a woman leader, and how important is diversity and inclusion in the firm to have a woman leader. So she would love to share some insight about diversity and inclusion, what we have built in our firm.
Grateful and happy to be here today at Nepali Women Entrepreneurship Summit. And I adore how strong the community is, how well organized the event, and this also amazing mission to it. So thank you very much for doing it. And I joined Corella Capital last year, and to be honest, it was easy for me to dive into the business with all my heart and soul, because I saw Mr. Naveed, how he works, when I saw all his cases, and the dollar amount he saves for major companies like Bank of America, and also for smaller businesses or individuals is just very, very impressive. So, and I really enjoy being a part of this team, and it has been my pleasure working with Carola.
And our mission is to help female entrepreneurs, gentlemen entrepreneurs, to save money on taxes, to give proper financial advices so the taxes can be done properly, money is safe and actually can be used for goodwill or to invest in other project by you. So yeah, thank you so much, and this event is phenomenal. Namaste, and thank you.
Alright, thank you, Coriola Capital LLC, for not just financing our dreams, investing in women's futures, and empowering the Nepalese community. Ladies and gentlemen, our platinum sponsor, Coriola Capital LLC,
has this opportunity to be here, and this is a great event. So I would like the theme that investing women, empowering women and like to accelerate the progress. So women is all, women is the great strength behind every man, right? So how can we impact others is the theme that, with investing in women, so how we can do the purpose, it's a purpose, right? Like a purpose of impacting others. So how can we help each other? How can we do it, and where can we start? Who can help us do that? Are all these questions we have in the mind. So myself, Hema Somseti, so myself into IT, like a decade of time, but when I conceived and gave birth, so I couldn't take myself a month of vacation or a short-term disability leave, so I had to send my kids to the Montessori. So then they developed the, health issues, gut inflammation and whatnot. So I applied for short-term disability and they couldn't give me a 3-month leave when I needed it. Even then I had provided them a decade of service. So then there was the problem that I couldn't take my own time and give my time to the family. So then I decided I have to quit and I have to see what I can do. So then there is an opportunity. I was like, so helping people, right? So when there is a problem, we need to help. And then at the time, I faced one more situation during the pandemic. My friend's husband passed away. So, and she is in a devastating situation where she couldn't know anything about the financials. So, where to start, how to, there are two, emotional situation and balancing out the financial situation is very hard for women to take care. And these days, so we couldn't do it. So yeah, so I would like to give to my husband to talk.
Yeah, women first, right? So I gave the opportunity where we are investing in women definitely. So that's where we saw that situation in our own family having like that and with our friends. So then we were looking for opportunities how can we help and how can we take the time back into our hands. So that day when she was so struggling to take care of a 6-week-old baby and struggling, then I took her laptop and I composed an email and I asked her to click a send button. She did it. Then I asked her, go and read that. That was her resignation. Yeah, I did that. Literally, I did that. Because 6-month-old baby and the elder girl going through the gluten sensitivity. So many issues basically, right? So that's why we're looking for opportunities at the same time. And her friend's, husband passing away. So we were looking for opportunities. How can we go and help more people? So that's where we took into the financial opportunities into our hands and we started helping, and indirectly it became our main career. So both of us quit our IT career and started doing it as own. And we have been helping almost 1,200 partners spreading this business everywhere. So everybody wants to be their own boss because our problem was getting time into our own hands, right, which we didn't have it. So everybody is looking for that kind of opportunity, and everybody talks about the financial freedom, and we are talking about financial dependency, independence and everything. But everybody talks about it, but as Richa, you are talking about it, how many of them are taking into their hands? So that's where we go and educate them. There is an opportunity. If anybody is looking for such kind of a thing, we can help them basically. And at the same time, financial literacy. Not many people know, everybody, you are talking about the same thing, and Pragya, you are also talking about the same thing, that literacy is missing. So we all help each other all the time. So if anybody is looking for any kind of financial solutions, like tax retirement income and everything, like 401k that you are talking about, like everybody, they put money in the 401k, but they don't know how the 401k really works. When to take that money. When I was talking to so many people, like they are working as the directors and the senior directors in so many big Fortune 10 companies, they don't even know that they have to pay taxes when they retire. Really, do you have to pay taxes on 401k? Yes sir, you need to. So those are the gaps that we help to people. So if anybody is looking for such kind of entrepreneurial business owner opportunities, we help them. And at the same time, we help people to get their financial education to solve their problems. Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity.
Joined by Headman International Group are Miss Sukriti and Miss Kriti. Can you have them on stage, please? Let's be happy for everyone, ladies and gentlemen. A huge round of applause for the winners. One more time, ladies and gentlemen.
Part after speaking after so many great speakers and enlightening people is the timekeeper, probably has the same It's an honor to be here at this event. Specifically, I have to be honest, true story. I was a little choked up today just thinking about, International Women's Day. I always think about my grandma that I lost in 2020 and the grandma I didn't meet. I think about my mom, my mother-in-law that paved the way for me to be here in front of you today and set the example and the sacrifices they made as women. Sometimes husbands, we like to think that we share sacrifices, but it always seems like the women share a little bit more in that sacrifice than us. So I thank you so much for having me here. And it was important to me specifically to be part of this community because if some of y'all think I'm familiar, yes, I'm familiar. I've been to several of y'all's events at a previous bank. One of my closest best friends is Nepalese. So when we talk about community, that's what it's about. Speaking of mentorship, I was his mentor when he first got into the commercial banking side. And it's funny how life and things work out, that he became a mentor to me later in my career and being able to grow with each other. I think that's such a significant piece of life and our journey together, regardless of our backgrounds. Because it's amazing to me, the more you talk to people and the more you get ingrained, that you might find out that me working in the cotton field in Lubbock, Texas sounds very similar to somebody in the hall working in the field, and how their parents or grandparents didn't want that for them, so they made sacrifices together. So I think we're all connected. Frost, one of our core values is caring, and one promise that you'll have for me is you're going to get caring from me, you're going to get a relationship, you're going to get caring from my colleagues, Jesus and Emily and Christine, in all facets of what you do. It's not necessarily just, hey, what can we do, and what are your plans? A lot of the questions we always ask is, what else do you spend your time on? Yes, you have this business, yes, you've got this job, but what else do you spend your time on? And 90% of the time it's like my wife and kids, okay, but really, what else do you like to do? What do you like to do? Kind of digging into the meditation piece, like what's your center? We would love the opportunity to get to know you more, to see how much we care about you. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you again at the next one.
Fourth year that I've come to this event. It's so incredible because I started coming, like I said, 4 years ago, and then I find myself coming back to this event every single year. And it is no surprise why. I'm sure you guys can all agree that a platform like this, a forum like this is so important for the Nepalese diaspora. sorry, I'm a little bit nervous today. It's the lessons that we get to learn from everybody who comes here. Today, I've been so impressed and so connected. Raksha, like I've spoken to you online, but to have you here and to actually hear your work and to participate in this meditation practice with you was so personal and so valuable. Similarly, our keynote speaker, to hear your experience and the pictures that you showed initially of the pregnant statue outside the ICJ. And that resonated with me so much more today because I'm a daughter myself. So thank you so much for that. And the really incredible, is it Richa? Wow, your presentation was so incredible. The stories that we hear here today, I'm just bringing up 3 names because I can see them directly here. But they're so important because when do we get together in a room to talk about vulnerability, that they were at the brink of taking their own life? That is so deeply personal. And there was somebody else who spoke about boundaries, how we just let random uncles talk about things that are happening in our lives. We are so afraid of what others are going to think or what others have to say. So oftentimes, us women, we shrink and we hide, you know. As we come up on stage, we apologize and we say, well, hopefully I'll bring some value to the table. And it's so silly. It's so silly that we do that because we all have something to offer. We all have something to give. So it is of an absolute honor for me to be here as...
Good afternoon. And namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. What an excellent execution. Hats off all these wonderful ladies up here. Thank you, NWGN, Nepal's own global network President Soni Thapa and her team, for being a co-host with the Nepalese American Chamber of Commerce. Greatly appreciated for your hard work. I could not keep up with your text messages. You know, the man's brain works a little different than a woman's brain. Facebook Messenger was down for a couple of hours last Tuesday. They started creating a Bible group to communicate immediately. Now that tells you how proactive they are. I want to start with a gratitude and appreciation to all the women around the globe. Remembering my mother who passed away when I was 16, still have a lot of memories with her. I want to thank my supporting wife who led me to the things that I want, and also the thanks to my mother-in-law who helped and mentored me in my real estate career 8 years ago. Furthermore, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all the distinguished guests, speakers, panelists, and all the participants. And thank you all our executive members and life members, and all the volunteers. And also thank you all the sponsors. We want to recognize all the sponsors. Platinum sponsor, Helmet Group International, Ravi Shamsedi, Koirala Capital LLC, Navneet Koirala, and the gold sponsor, Chetri and Associate PC Law Firm, Attorney Khavendra Khatri Chetri. Spain, Mr. Michael Mendoza. Nexa Mortgage, Vivek Rao. And the silver sponsor, Peritas Tansen, Ms. Rasalina Joshi. Hospitality, Gauri Joshi. Desi Maya Boutique, Jenny Fata. Rental Wholesale in Harvard Tandoor Crackpot, Mandira Benal. And our supporters are CTK Healthcare and Career Institute, Women Care of Mid-Cities, Dr. Vishnu Maya Upadhyay, Bright Event Decode, Deepika Basne, Prime Visa Solution, Shraddha Adhikari, Alibaba Hookah Lounge, Mantra Sports and Restaurant, Legacy One Realty, broker Deepika Srestha Watson, Fistel Realty, broker Samir Barakati, Pastor Realty, realtor Sam Srestha, Pastor Realty, realtor Surya Thapa, Carver Mortgage, Nitesh Koirala, Alma Consulting Group, ST Technical Solutions, Satya Thapa, Kapil and Alina Bhandari, Suri and Swati Adhikari, and the mandala for the child care, Aisha Waza, Manoj Sikdal, Bed Basnet, and the last but not least, Bodhi Creation, photo and partner, Swayambhu Sakti, capturing all our beautiful smile. Once again, big thanks to all the sponsors. Without your generous support, our event wouldn't be possible. At the Nepali Chamber of Commerce, our mission is to provide networking opportunity and resource for the Nepalese and American business to connect and collaborate, support the growth development, serve as a platform for the knowledge. Last year, a small startup run by a woman, Deepika Basnet, had a chance to showcase her business at our event. Now, the same business is proud to be one of our sponsors. It's a story like this that inspires us to keep going and support more entrepreneurs and leaders. Our vision is to create more entrepreneur and leadership for the future generation. 5 years ago, 2019, one lady, partner in crime in my business, she was helping one of our chamber for the first time. She disappeared within 30 minutes since she didn't have her same age group friends and she didn't know the culture of chamber. 2020, COVID happened. Sorry, I forgot one of the sponsors, CTK Healthcare, Prem Adhikari. In 2021, she was helping with the registration for the most of the chamber event. 2022, she was in charge of the registration and she was bringing her sister with her other volunteers. 2023, she was in charge of the registration and she was helping immediate past president, also the program coordinator for the 4th Women Summit, Madam President Srinikarthi. 2024, this year, 90% of all the job is done by single lady. Let's give it a round of applause, Shraddha Srestha. When we assign, or when someone takes their responsibility at a chamber, we give them a full authority to run the show so that they will learn how to become a leader. Every day, our goal is to create entrepreneur and leader at Nepali Chamber of Commerce. So here we are creating success stories and empowering one business and leader. As I listening earlier, men's and women's, there's a one word I thought about it. Men are head of the house, women are neck of the house. Right? In future, there will be no female leaders. There will be just the leaders. Happy International Women's Day to everyone. And thank you for part of being our celebration. Thank you.
Can you repeat that once again?
I said I'm going to let her draw it, that way I don't get blamed if I didn't pick the right name.
Please don't blame me. No, it's not my name. Alright, the winner is
Rose Swerstack.
Please come on stage to kind of get your gift. And ladies and gentlemen, not to forget, wonder what they So she's getting a brand new Apple smartwatch, ladies and gentlemen.